Good morning, good morning. I wanted to pretty much just talk to anyone out there who's in this transitional phase of their life, who's looking to take control and live in their passion. We know that a lot of people get up every day and they go to a job they hate. They're doing something just because it's a check. And I understand, I've been in that situation, and I'm not going to knock anybody's reasoning for staying in a circumstance because they have a family, they have to provide, they have health issues, this job provides them insurance. I don't know what your situation is. I just know, like, for me, I felt that I was no longer happy with what I was doing in my life, and I had found my passion in something else, and I just refused to settle for less than what I know I wanted and less than what I know I deserve. So within that journey, I found myself desiring to grow in the area of design. And I was also building my faith and my spiritual connection with God. And I just knew that this wasn't it. It wasn't it. Yes, I was making a lot of money for my age, and at the time, making over $60,000 plus bonuses. It was a good job, and it provided me with great benefits and great opportunities of growth within the company. It just wasn't fulfilling me. So I felt in my heart that God was telling me to quit my job. That's a scary thing when you first got that feeling of leaving stability, for the unknown. It can be very scary, but I felt it and it didn't go away. And the reason I know it was for me was because people that I didn't know would just kind of prophesy over my life and say, God is wanting you to go towards your passion. Like, God is asking you to have faith in Him and go towards what it is that you're supposed to be doing. At church, when I would go to church, they would be hitting on that topic, investing in yourself and leaving a situation and trusting yourself and trusting that God got you. So months and months and months of me hearing this put it inside of me, like, okay, I'm going to do this. What is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is I could fail, I could be broke, and I'd have to start over or find another job. I was okay with that as a possibility, because guess what? What could happen if I succeed? Man, if I succeed, I could have a multi-million-dollar company. I can be living in my passion. I could be happy when I get up and go to work. I could really be satisfied within myself. So within taking that into consideration, I put a plan in motion. I didn't just up and quit my job, which some people do. And whatever you feel like works best for you is what works best for you. I'm just telling you what I did. I gave my job 3 months notice. Now, a lot of jobs are petty and they will let you go if you say that you're leaving. So kind of gauge how you feel like your situation is. I gave my job 3 months because I told myself, Andrea, I want to make this real. I didn't want to say in my mind, okay, I'm going to leave in January, and then January came and I didn't make it real. So I said, if I tell them I'm leaving, I have to leave now. I've already told them I'm going to be leaving. I told my job I was going to be leaving in January of 2019, and I gave myself 3 months to save as much money as I could save. I came up with a plan on who I was going to need to be in contact with, what information I was going to need to know about this industry that I'm jumping into, and I couldn't afford to go to school, so I took that opportunity to look at schools that I knew that were very good schools, Parks and SCAD. I mean, there's so many other schools that are out there that are great schools, but I looked at their curriculums and I said, what are you learning? I can't afford to go here, but I can afford to get online and look at your curriculums and see what you're teaching the students. So once I did that, I was able to build my own curriculum. I was able to say, okay, they're learning about manufacturing, they're learning about textiles, they're learning about pattern making, they're learning about draping. Like, I picked things, and that can go for any industry. Accounting, if you want to be a real estate agent, if you want to invest, if you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it is out there that you want to do, if you can't afford to go to school for certain situations, of course you have to go to school to be a doctor, but for certain situations where you can't afford to go back to school, but the knowledge is accessible online, look online. Like, go online and teach yourself what it is that you need to know. It's very possible, and it's something that you can do. So I did that, and dedicated that in my life for months and months and months, and obviously it's still ongoing, but those particular months I dedicated my time to making sure I learned what I needed to learn before I left that job. So and while I was doing that, I said, okay, I'm gonna also create a plan for what I'm going to do once I quit my job. Now, up in the 3 months up until quitting my job, and what do I need to do once I have that free time? All that time now that I'm gonna have all day and all night, how am I gonna utilize it to make sure that I'm putting it towards my goal? I decided that it was necessary for me to get a mentor. I decided it was necessary for me to educate myself in this industry. I decided it was necessary for me to start going to networking events so that I could start building my business and building my brand, and to reach out to people. I took that as a priority. So once I left my job, I got into a pattern making course so that I could really hone in on my skills. I met some amazing mentors. I got a business coach. I met with an accountant. And a lot of times, you guys, you can meet with these people for free. There is such thing as an informational interview where if you don't have money to get an accountant full time, that you can call up someone who's an accountant and say, excuse me, I just want some time to talk to you and ask you some questions about what it is that I need to know about financing, about saving, about investing. And a lot of times they will sit down and talk to you. Some people are kind enough to continuously talk to you, because you're building that relationship. And guess what? When you do have money that you can now make moves with, who are you going to go to? Majority of the time, you're going to go to the person who took the time to sit down and talk to you when you didn't have anything. So I did that. I inboxed people. I called people. I went to networking events. I connected with as many people as I possibly could so that I could start to build my reputation and really get an understanding of what it is that I need to know in this industry. So I made a 3-month plan. I quit my job. I saved up as much money as I could, and I started to put that money towards obviously bills and then investing in myself and in my skill set. Now, how I went from quitting my job in January to getting hired at Emory in July, I want to say, was it July or August, somewhere around that time. So we're talking 7-8 months after leaving a corporate job, I'm already working in my industry. Didn't go to school, didn't have any real previous training, in the industry, because I've been in corporate. But what did I do? I honed in on my skill. I dedicated myself to what I was doing. I practiced day in and day out, and I got myself a class where I could learn how to make patterns and learn how to sew better. And also, I reached out. I inboxed her on Indeed, and I said, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm looking to get into this industry. I want to work in a costume shop. I want to be a costume designer. Is there anything that you can do to help me? If there's any opportunities that come up, can you please let me know? Just so happened, she was looking to start building her team. It takes a while for people to get in the industry of theater. But because opportunity and preparation met, I was able to really get my foot in the door and learn while I continue to do what it is that I want to do. And I told myself, I'm not taking on any opportunities that's not in line with my my long-term goal. And trust me, that was hard, because as soon as I was running out of money, I think right when I got that job, I was really running out of money. I was probably to my last dollar, to be honest. And I prayed, I said, God, I don't want anything that's not in line with what I'm doing. Right when I was almost out of money, I got an opportunity. This lady reached out to me and she said, hey, we're hiring for contract analysts, paying $40 an hour. All we need you to do is send in your resume. I said, no, thank you. I'm no longer in this field. Do you know how hard that was to turn that money down? I felt like I asked God for something and I wasn't going to accept anything less than what I know I wanted to do. Going back into contracts would have made me more money, but it would not have fulfilled me. I would have been going backwards, and I would have been going against what I said I did not want. So I accepted the opportunity at Emory, paying way less than $40 an hour, right? So that I could get my foot in the door. And that opportunity opened the opportunity that came in December for me to work on Doom Patrol and to be in television making costumes. I'm not saying this is everybody's story. I'm just saying this is my story. It's real. I prayed people into my life. I asked God I need a mentor. I need a business coach. I need this person. I need that person in my life, God. If I'm going to be successful at this is who I need. This is how much money I need. This is the opportunities that I need. And I work my butt off for it. You can't just ask for something and not put in the work. It does not work like that. If you say you want to do something, you are going to have to put in the work. You are going to have to put yourself in front of people. People don't know you. unfortunately, they don't know you and they don't know what you want and they can't read your mind. And the opportunity on film, I was able to become a day play, working just a couple days, was only supposed to be a temporary opportunity. But because I took the initiative to talk to the costume designer and tell her what I wanted and explain to her my passions and my long-term goals, she was able to then look out for me because she seen my work ethic, she seen my skill set, she saw me take initiative in the position, go above and beyond. Even when it wasn't my responsibility, I still took on the responsibility because I wanted it that badly. And because I was able to reach out to her and tell her, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And I didn't just say, give me a job, I need a job. No. I said, if you can even just meet me for coffee and talk to me about what I need to know, about who I need to connect with, what books I need to read, what are things that I need to be concerned about or thinking about that I may not already be thinking about, so that I can be successful in what I'm trying to achieve. And that was something that really stuck out to her, because she told me in 20 years of how long she's been in this industry, no one has ever came to her and said that. Like, people aren't voicing their opinions, people aren't saying what they want, but then you get mad when the next person is getting opportunities and when the next person is advancing at a rapid speed or just in general. But it's because you don't speak up. Open your mouth. My grandmother used to always tell me, closed mouths don't get fed. And I truly believe that, and I take that approach no matter where I'm going. Some people can say you're arrogant, some people can say you're too much of a go-getter. Whatever you want to say about whoever's actually going for their dreams, that has nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with other people's insecurities. You go after what you want, you put your all into it, and you don't let up. Yes, you're going to get knocked down. Yes, there has been times where I've been stressed out. I've been crying on the floor. My bank account has been in negative. I didn't have the money to do the things that everybody else around me was doing at the time. And it absolutely sucked. And I felt like I made a huge mistake. I felt like, God, why did I do this? And you're leaving me out here in the middle of the ocean after I gave up everything. And it's not that. It's just God is building you for what it is that you're actually going to be doing. God is building me for something so much bigger than what I can even imagine right now, that if I not had went through that year or almost 2 years of financial instability, of not having the things that I want to have, but still pushing through, I wouldn't be able to appreciate the opportunities as much as I do now. I wouldn't be able to come reach back and say, hey, I understand. I know it's hard. I know you don't have anything in your bank account right now. I know you're stressed out. I know everybody around you seems like they're growing and they're excelling at faster rate than you are, but stay on course. Your journey is not their journey. Are you working hard enough? Are you reaching out to people? Are you getting yourself mentors? Are you educating yourself thoroughly on the industry that you're saying you want to be in? Are you thinking outside of the box and being creative about your approach? Are you not moving forward because you feel like what I have is not enough? What you have is enough. I got rid of my bed to turn my room into a sewing room. I slept on the floor and on the couch for over a year because I sacrificed what I had to sacrifice for the bigger goal. You can't just always look at it from one side of you. And not everybody's willing to do that. Not everybody's willing to sacrifice their bed for the sake of their future, whatever. I felt like it's a minor setback for a major comeback. I could care less about that bed while I'm building my business, because at some point I'll be able to buy as many beds as I want, as big of a bed as I want, and a big ass house to put it in, period. That's how I look at it. It is what it is. And then that room got too small for my dream. So guess what? I put my business in the living room. I just turned my living room into my office, into my sewing space, and called it a day. Of course, I would love to go to a home that's just a home and it's not engulfed with all my business stuff, but it's a process. A lot of greats have started off in their living room, building their business out of their bedrooms, getting a storage bin, whatever, and putting their business in that. Sometimes you just have to appreciate where you are and utilize the resources that you have so that you can build off of that. How is God going to bless you with more when you can't even handle what you have? Whatever little bit that you think you have is way more than what some people have, and they make magic. I just want anybody that's in this situation to understand that just because you don't necessarily have everything you need right now don't mean you can't work with what you have. Sit down. I hope the takeaways from this video is to really just organize your mind. Sit down and really think about what it is that you're trying to achieve. Think about who you currently know. Write a list of people that you know and write next to their names what they do. You never know how they can help you. You never know who they know. Reach out to those people. Let them know what you need. Let them know who you're needing to get in contact with. If you need a business coach, say, hey, do you know any business coaches? They might know someone. But if they don't, guess what? That's fine. Take to Google. Take to Instagram. Hashtag business coaches in your area. Who might be willing to help you answer some questions for you, and reach out to them. Take advantage of every opportunity, whether it's paid or not. Sometimes you have to take opportunities that aren't paid. I work for people for free for 10 months, for a year, for 6 months to just gain certain knowledge. After a certain amount of time, it may be time to cut ties. If you know, sometimes you just extend your whatever you're doing with that person is just, you've come to an end of the road and it's time to move on, but you still take advantage of every opportunity that you have. And give your all. And don't say, oh, this ain't my job. You are there to learn. You are there to grow. It's an equal opportunity for both people to have something from each other. I don't know, who needs to hear this right now, but you are capable. You are capable. I don't care what you come from. I was the first in my family to graduate from college. I endured a lot of mental abuse as a kid. People talking about what I can't do, treating me badly because of just whatever reason. And then even after that, just dealing with being bullied in school all the time, dealing with low self-esteem, dealing with identity crisis after I decided not to become an attorney because I couldn't get a high enough score that I wanted on the LSAT. Like, just shifting gears from one complete career to the next. I went through so many obstacles that I just did not allow to break me. And you don't have to let your obstacles break you either. You are not what you've been through. You are who you build yourself to become. So within all of this, I know it's kind of was a lot, but I just wanted to really get it out there and let anybody know that's going through this transition that you got it. You got it, you can do it, and you will be successful. All right.